Happy Friday, everyone. This is Greg here with the Bullet Hole coming at you with another Free Tip Friday. So today, I'm going to talk about something that comes up in the shop quite a bit. So I've got my Glock 34 here. I'm going to clear it, and we're clear. So when we're talking guns with potential customers, the trigger comes up quite a bit. There are a few terms that we like to use that newer shooters should definitely be aware of. Number one, it'll affect how you purchase a gun or select one. And number two, it will very much improve your shooting experience because you'll be able to pick out a trigger that actually works for you. So the first thing I want to cover is pre-travel. So pre-travel is movement in the trigger before the gun fires. On this Glock, for example, in previous videos, I've talked about how it's double action. That pre-travel is there because number one, it's cocking the firing pin. Number two, it's deactivating the firing pin block safety. So there's a couple of reasons for the pre-travel in this gun. Next up, we have the actual break itself, which is where I finally apply enough weight to the trigger where the gun will fire. From there, when the gun fires, the slide is obviously going to cycle or reciprocate, which I'm going to do manually, and it's going to chamber another round. Now, this is the really important part for me, at least, because I judge a lot of guns based off of reset, and this is what reset is. So once the gun is cycled, if you notice my finger is still rearwards on the trigger. I'm going to release the trigger, and we're going to hear a click. Luckily, the Glock has a fantastic reset, so you should be able to hear it on the camera. So that click right there indicates to me that the gun is ready to fire again. The reason why this is important is because the more we move our finger during the firing process, inherently the less accuracy we're going to have because our hand is moving and we're squeezing and gripping and doing all these things with our hands. The more I move my trigger finger, the more I'm going to be pulling the gun up, down, left, right, or low, left, which a lot of people run into. So with that, if I can practice to fire the gun between the break and the reset only without coming all the way off the trigger and grabbing the trigger again, that's going to tighten my groups up because I'm not clenching the gun. I'm not changing all the dynamics of how I'm touching the trigger. A lot of people, when they shoot and they're new to it, they want to press the trigger and then pull their finger away from the trigger, let the gun cycle, and then start from the top again, and they have to take all the slack or pre-travel out of the trigger and start the process over again. We, while we're shooting, we want to be in contact with the trigger while we're firing our string. So obviously when you come off target, your finger needs to come back off of the trigger again. However, if you're going to put 3 rounds into a group on the target, you want to be touching that trigger for all 3 rounds and cycle through the reset. The other part to mention about the reset is not only does it make a noise, generally with most handguns you can also feel it too. Especially with like the Glocks, the CZP-10s, SIG 320s are pretty solid on that as well. Those 3 have fantastic resets, so you can not only feel that reset, but you can also hear it too. Once you get past understanding reset, it becomes a smaller piece of the puzzle, at least with shooting. So when you're new to it, reset is everything. Once you actually start building your skills with shooting, focusing on feeling and hearing that reset will be a second nature thing, and you won't have to pay attention to it anymore. If you have any questions or comments, by all means drop them in the comments section below or give us a call at 913-432-0050. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well. If you have any questions, by all means, please ask. Have a great Friday. Be safe out there. I must ask you a question. Have you hit the subscribe button or the little bell icon? If not, please do. We'd really appreciate it.